Everyone welcome to Koil Kol Shira in partnership with Breslov.org and of course Yeshiva Torah Shimon. Yeah. Okay, I give many different shiurim, Baruch Hashem, and we usually have our organization called Breslov Efrat, and okay, Baruch Hashem. That's also connected to Breslov.org. Okay, Baruch Hashem. Okay, Parshas. We're starting a new sefer now. Sefer Devarim. It's a special Shabbos Chazon. It's supposed to be a somber Shabbos, but the Shabbos itself, the fact that it says that the Navi says Chazon, Yishayahu, Chazon, it's a vision. The Shabbos is really a Shabbos of vision, and we have to look at it that way to see how HaKadosh Baruch Hu is mamish with us, and Hashem did not abandon us, and Hashem is always with us. And something that I really think that we have to give a tremendous amount of hakaras hatov to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and the greatest thank you is for what happened to Klal Yisrael in the past few weeks, right? In the past few weeks. Let's think about it. We can look back when we had the Bush administration, right, in America. The Bush administration was very, very scared. They were very scared to deal with Iran. They didn't want to provoke them. They were very, very walking on eggshells. Then came along the Obama administration, and Obama, he said, well, I'm not going to fight with them. He gave them a lot of money just to calm them, keep them calm. He flooded them with billions of dollars. Okay. Why? Because they were afraid. Iran, they're crazy. And they can attack anywhere they want, whenever they want. And why provoke them? Right? So we'll just give them money. Right? Then what happens? Israel decides, well, listen, they're getting a little ahead of themselves here, and it's getting a little bit too close for comfort, and we're going to have to attack them. Right? We're going to have to attack them. It was that Thursday night. Miracles upon miracles. That Thursday night, the Prime Minister of Israel, Benjamin Netanyahu, went with his security detail. They closed the Kotel. And here you have it, the Prime Minister of Israel standing at the Kotel, putting a note into the Kotel. That's a miracle right there. That's a tremendous miracle right there. Then he goes from there, and they go to the Knesset. And in the Knesset, that night, they're reading Tehillim together. Now, I don't know if any of you ever heard the way the Knesset normally sounds, but if you ever have an opportunity to, or maybe don't, but okay, if you heard it, there's just a lot of noise. They're screaming and shouting at one another. There's such a disarray in the room. It's unbelievable. Here, they were sitting and saying Tehillim. Another outright miracle. An outright miracle. In the Knesset, they were saying Tehillim. Now, I know for many people, we don't understand, why is it a miracle? These are people that live on the principle, we do everything with our might. It's all about our might. That's how they live. Right? The army is powerful. Our Air Force is elite. It's powerful. Right? But they realized, hey, wait a second. We may be powerful. We may have a great army, but we never went this far. We didn't go this far. Yes, they did go, and they did attack their air defense systems back by Rosh Hashanah time. They did do that, and they took out all the air defense systems in Tehran, all right, to allow them now to be able to come back. Now you have to realize something. Israel to Tehran is about 1,200 miles. All right, it's like I guess the distance would be like from New York to Florida, something like that. Okay, now the planes that Israel flies, the F-35s, the F-14, 15, 35s, are small planes. They don't have the capability of carrying the fuel to fly that distance and to come back. They don't have it, right? They don't have that. So what did they do? They had to work out that they would have refueling planes in the sky, and these planes would be refueled on midair on their way to or from coming back to Israel. Amazing. Now, they flew hundreds of missions, and hundreds of planes were constantly be refueled. Not one plane went down. Not one plane. That's an amazing thing. They hit their targets that they wanted to hit. They did what they had to do. And yes, Iran shot their missiles back. And yes, there were a few casualties in Eretz Yisrael. And again, that's nothing small. And we say Baruch Tayin Emes. But the country at large, was protected. That's a huge, huge miracle. I don't understand why all the Rabbanim are not making that a day of tefillah that should be a recognition of the miracle that Hashem did, a recognition of what Hashem did, and how HaKadosh Baruch Hu is mamish with us. It's amazing. I wanted to start with that. Okay, now, Parshat Devarim, Sefer Devarim, is known as Mishnah Torah. Right? Why is it known as Mishnah Torah? Because Sefer Devarim is the repeat. Moshe Rabbeinu he's repeating, and he's reviewing what happened in the Torah. He's reviewing it now. And when did he start doing this? So Chazal tell us that it was on the first of Shvat. It was on Rosh Chodesh Shvat, and we know that Moshe Rabbeinu passed away 37 days later. 37 days. So the whole Sefer Devarim was compiled. Moshe Rabbeinu's words was written within 37 days. Fascinating. Okay? We wear our tefillin, right? We have two. We wear tefillin shel rosh, tefillin shel yad. The tefillin shel rosh, tefillin shel yad are two separate mitzvahs. We put them on the same time, right? We put on the yad first, right? Because we're malin b'kodesh, we're not meridin. So we put on the yad first, keneged the leiv, and then we put on the rosh, which is keneged the moach, the mind. Now, there's a difference between the tefillin shel rosh and tefillin shel yad. The tefillin shel rosh has 4 separate compartments. It's a box, but in the box there are 4 separate compartments. Each compartment contains a parsha. There's a passage. There's a passage that's written on a parchment. It's folded and put into the slot of each one of the four compartments. The Tefillin Shel Yad has the same 4 passages on one continuous scroll. One continuous piece of parchment has the same exact parshios, and they're put into there. Now, the tefillin shel rosh is keneged the tefillin shel rosh is keneged the 4 books of the Torah: Bereshis, Shemos, Vayikra, and Bamidbar. 4 books, 4 independent books. That's why the Tefillin Shel Rosh has 4 independent compartments. The Tefillin Shel Yad is Mishnah Torah, Sefer Devarim. It's the complete review of everything the Torah. It's called Mishnah Torah. It's the review, and of course there are many more mitzvahs in Devarim as well. Many mitzvahs, but it's known as the review. Okay, so that's why the Tefillin Shel Yad is Sefer Devarim, right? Sefer Devarim, because it has everything in there. That's why it's on one scroll in the Tefillin Shel Yad, and that's why that box is one compartment with one scroll that has the 4 parshiyos in it, okay? And the Tefillin Shel Rosh has 4 independent ones, because that's Keneged, Bereshis, Shemais, Vayikra, and Bamidbar, okay? I said, I just wanted to say that it's something very nice, because you can remember when you put on your tefillin every day, Baruch Hashem, that your tefillin are Keneged, the Chamishe Chumshei Torah. I thought that was something very nice I wanted to share with you. Okay. Moshe Rabbeinu begins the review, and he's reviewing the course of what happened to the Jews over the past 40 years, from the time they left Mitzrayim till the time they came to Har Sinai, to Mount Sinai, and now to the time that they're standing on the Me'ever LaYarden, right? They're on the east side of the Yarden. They're about to cross over into Eretz Yisrael, right? That's where they are now. So that was the whole journey, and he goes over the journey with them. He rebukes us. There's much written on why now Moshe Rabbeinu is rebuking us. Why now? After all these years, why does he choose to rebuke us now? We didn't see Moshe Rabbeinu rebuking us much before. But why now? And it's understood that because when someone has something to rebuke somebody, the best time to do it is before they pass away. Before they pass away. We see that with Yaakov Avinu, right? Yaakov Avinu, Jacob, before he passed away, he gave his rebuke to his sons. He didn't give them rebuke while he was alive. He didn't give Reuben rebuke. He didn't give Levi and Shimon rebuke while they were alive. But when he was going to pass away, he certainly did rebuke them. And Moshe Rabbeinu is following the same way. Now he's about, like we said, it's 37 days before he's going to pass away. It's 37 days, and now Moshe Rabbeinu says, it's my time that I have to rebuke the people. And he's doing it out of the love. He's not doing that because he has any resentment, chas v'sholom. He has no resentment. He wants to teach them how to go forward and how to be successful. Now, next week's parsha is Parshas Va'eschanan. And we know Va'eschanan, the gematria of Va'eschanan is 515. 515. And Moshe Rabbeinu davened to Hashem 515 consecutive tefillos. 515 prayers for him to be able to go into Eretz Yisrael. He wanted any way to go in. He tried, he said, I'll go in as I don't have to be the leader. I'll go in as a regular person. I don't even have to go in as a person. I'll go in as an animal. He didn't care. I want to go into Eretz Yisrael. I want to be in Eretz Yisrael. Do we understand that? How many of us today appreciate Eretz Yisrael like Moshe Rabbeinu? He wanted desperately to come to the Holy Land. Desperately. But Hashem said no. Hashem said no. Hashem said no because He loves us. Hashem said no because He loves the Jewish people. What does that mean? What does that mean? We know on Tisha B'Av, right? We're in the 3 weeks, and now we're in the 9 days, right? We're in the 9 days, and as you know, from the time the 3 weeks begin, so we don't take haircuts. Ashkenazim, and we don't listen to music, right? We don't have weddings, we don't do things like that. And then when the 9 days comes, we make it a little more strict, right? Showering becomes a prohibition, eating meat becomes a problem, drinking wine becomes a problem, right? All these things become prohibited. We see that the severity of the mourning is increasing as we're getting closer to Tisha B'Av. Until when it comes to Tisha B'Av, so we know Tisha B'Av, we have the same prohibitions as on Yom Kippur, right? We don't bathe. There's no relations, right? We don't eat, of course, and things like that. We don't do these things. And not only that, on Tisha B'Av morning, we don't even put on our tefillin. We don't put on our tefillin and talis. It's a very strange morning. It's a very, very strange morning to go to daven, and you're davening Shachris without a talis, right? You never do that. We never do that, right? In Ashkenazi Jewry, right? All married men wear a talis. You don't ever daven Shachris without a talis. But I don't wear my talis on Tisha B'Av morning, because it's very severe. But what happens? The day moves along, and it turns to Chatzos Hayom, the Chatzos, right? The midday, whatever time that is in your local, wherever you're living. You can look what time Chatzos Hayom is. And from Chatzos Hayom on, I'm now permitted to put on my talis. I'm now able to wear my tefillin. And I'm able to now sit on a chair. Wow. Right? Because before that, we only sit on low chairs. Sit on the floor, we sit on low chairs. But when it comes to Chatzos, now I can actually sit on the chair. I could put on my talis, I could put on my tefillin. Why? What changed? What changed? What does Chatzos have anything to do with the fact that I couldn't wear my talis and tefillin, and now comes Chatzos, and now I can wear my talis and tefillin? Well, Chazal tell us there were deliberations going on up on high. There were deliberations going up with the Malachim in Shemayim. And the Malachim in Shemayim were prosecuting against the Jewish people. And Hashem was making the decision. Should I destroy the Jewish people? Should I destroy the Beis HaMikdash? What should I do? What should I do? When it came to Chatzos, Hashem said it's going to be the Beis HaMikdash. I'm going to leave my children alone. I'm going to protect my children. I'm going to keep my children. I don't care about the eitzim and the avonim, right? The wood and the stones. And that's when the Romans burnt down the Beis HaMikdash. That's when they burnt it down, at Chatzos. So you would think, wait a second. They burnt down the Beis HaMikdash now. So now I sit on my chair. So now I put on my talis. So now I wear my tefillin. Yes, because that's when HaKadosh Baruch Hu chose Klal Yisrael over the Beis HaMikdash. Now, this goes back to Moshe Rabbeinu. Had Moshe Rabbeinu had prayed, and Hashem would have allowed Moshe Rabbeinu to come into Eretz Yisrael, had we have made the mistakes that we did, right? The first Beis HaMikdash, we were involved in Gili Arayis, Shvichas Damim, Avodah Zarah, right? We were involved in murder. We were involved in immorality. We were involved in idol worship. In the second Beis HaMikdash, it was sinas chinam, Chazal tell us. Sinas chinam, baseless hatred. Baseless hatred. What is that? What is baseless hatred? Baseless hatred is you walk over to a Jew and you don't like the way he's dressed. You don't like the way he's davening. You don't like what he's doing. And I hate him. There's no reason. I have no reason. We're not talking about baseless hatred where the guy robbed, he cheated you out of a business deal. He swindled you. We're not talking about that. It's baseless hatred. There's no basis for the hatred. Right? That's the problem. Right? That's the problem. It's baseless hatred. There's no point, there's no reason why I show any hate to the other person. And Chazal tell us right now, what's the repair to that? We should have ahavas chinam. Ahavas chinam. What is ahavas chinam? Ahavas chinam is, I love Jews. I love every Jew. Even though he's different than me, I don't care. Chazal say, Al tadin es chavercha ad shetegia lemekomo. Don't judge your friend. Don't judge him until you come to his situation. You're living your life the way exactly with the same parameters, the same details of his life. You understand his life intricately. And that's impossible. So then you have no right to judge the person. Right? Only HaKadosh Baruch Hu. We're supposed to danas hakol lekav schus. Judge everybody favorably. Right? Rabbi Nachman says that's in his famous Torah, Azamra, Reish Pei Beis. Judge everybody favorably, and then judge yourself favorably. Judge yourself favorably also. That's the Chiddush. Right? Anything that a person is, we're very, very difficult on ourselves, and that's okay. However, we have to understand that anything that actually happens in our life is only happening because that's the will of Hashem. Anything that's happening in our life is only happening because Hashem willed it. Now, you may say to me, yeah, well, I have Bechira, I have free choice, so I made the choice to do that. Right? Okay. Who gave you the ability to do it? Hashem did. Hashem gave you the ability to do whatever it was. And Hashem wants to see, how are you going to react now? Are you going to realize that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is still with you? Are you going to turn back to Him? Or are you going to turn away from Him? That's upon us. That's upon us. So therefore, HaKadosh Baruch Hu decided to destroy the Beis HaMikdash and to leave the Jewish people alive, and that's why we're here today. There's a very famous story with Napoleon Bonaparte, right? The famous French general. He was very, very successful. And they say one time, it was Tisha B'Av, and then Napoleon was traveling and he passed by a shul. And he heard, it was the summertime. Tisha B'Av is always in the summertime, especially in Europe. It's very warm, very, very warm in Europe. Right? Although it's amazing, every time I go to Europe and they tell me we don't really need air conditioning because it doesn't get that hot over here. Let me tell you something. That's not true. That's not true. They're just cheapskates. All right? But anyway, it was hot. The windows were open. The windows in the Beis Medrash were open. And the Jews were crying. It's Tisha B'Av. We're crying. And he asked, what's going on? So they said to him, today is Tisha B'Av. He says, what's that? He says, that's the day that the Beis HaMikdash was destroyed. He says, when was it destroyed? They said it was 1,800 years ago. Now it's 2,000 years ago. Right? 1,800 years ago. He said any people that can still cry over something that took place 1,800 years ago. And I could say to us now, Achas Kama V'Kama. Now it's 2,000 years. That we can still feel the lack and something that we lost, what we lost. We'll talk about the Beis HaMikdash in a minute. He said that's a people that will always be around. That's a people that will be successful. And you see, Baruch Hashem, we're here today. The greatest miracle The greatest miracle that Hashem runs the world is the Jewish people. That after everything the nations of the world tried to do to us, time and time again, and they did to us, we're still here today, Baruch Hashem, Bli Ayin Hara, and we're thriving. Right? Jewish communities are thriving in America. Jewish communities are thriving even in Europe. There were Jewish communities thriving in Australia. There were Jewish communities thriving in South Africa. And all Me'arba Kanfois Haaretz. Especially in Eretz Yisrael. Especially in Eretz Yisrael. So Baruch Hashem, we have the day of Tisha B'Av. It's a time that we have to reflect and understand that we don't have that Beis HaMikdash. We don't have that connection of the Darei Mata and the Darei Mala, the lower level, the lower section down here in this world and the upper world. The two worlds it's difficult for them to meet right now. We're learning a lot about that now in Hilchas Netilas Yadayim L'Suda, in the morning shiurim. Anyone that wants to listen to our shiurim, they're on the YouTube every day. Baruch Hashem, we're going through Likutei Halachas every day. Baruch Hashem. It's teaching the idea that we're trying to connect the upper world to the lower world, and that's where what the Beis HaMikdash did. Right? You brought an animal to the Beis HaMikdash as a korban, a sacrifice. The animal was sacrificed in the Beis HaMikdash. The holy fire came down, the Shechina Kedosha, and accepted the offering. And it became an Isha Reach Nichayach LaHashem. It became something delightful, enjoyable to Hashem, whatever that means. Again, it's nothing physical about Hashem, but that's what the Torah says. So I'm using that word. I'm using the words of the Torah. The Torah says, Isha Re'ach Nichayach L'Hashem. We don't have that connection anymore. We don't have that. But we do have, every day, the idea that Chazal tell us, U'neshal mefarim b'sifasenu. We can pay back we can fulfill the sacrifices with our lips. With our lips. If you learn the Seder of Karbanis, especially if you say them every day, if you say the Karbanis every day, how wonderful that is, if you get to say the Karbanis. And realize that you're making your connection back to the Beis HaMikdash. You're making your connection back to the Beis HaMikdash whenever you read the Parshas of the Karbanis. The Pitam HaKetoras, right? You talk about the Ketoras, the incense, right? The incense that was brought. Unbelievable. These are things that we don't have. But we do have the Siddur, we do have the ability to connect to Hashem still today. And those that don't say Karbanis, I don't know why, I don't know where it came about that Minhag Ashkenaz, they think it's not important to say Karbanis. I don't know where that came about. I don't know. Chazal tell us that the afternoon, the morning prayer is in lieu of the Karban Shel Tamid, Shel Shachar. The afternoon prayer is in lieu of the Karban Tamid Shel Bein HaArbayim that was brought in the afternoon, and that's Mincha. Okay? So the tefillas are connected to the Karbanis. So why not say the Karbanis? I don't know. But anyway, listen, no matter what your minhag is, it's in your siddur, and I'm asking everyone, please, take the few minutes and say the Karbanis. Say the Karbanis. At the very least, my dear Rebbe, Rav David Spiegel, Zal Zayin Gesund und Stark, the Rav, the Ostrov Kalashina Rebbe of Cedarhurst. I know. Some of you know of Rav David Spiegel. He's amazing, amazing tzaddik. He told me personally, years and years ago, he says, if you want to have shalom bayis, You want shalom bayis. Who doesn't want shalom bayis, right? Does anyone want? Everyone wants shalom bayis, right? We want to have a good relationship with our wives. We want to have peace and the harmony in the home, correct? You know what he told me? Say the Mishnah, Ezu Mekaymen Shel Zvachim, every morning. Make sure you say that every single morning. Why? Why, he said? Because all through Mishnayos, you will never find any Mishnah that everyone agrees on. There's always a disagreement. There's always a disagreement. No, like this, no, like that. No, not like that, like this. But when it comes to Ezu Mekaymen Shel Zvachim, everyone agrees. There's shalom. There's shalom on how the sacrifices were brought in the Beis HaMikdash, in the Mishkan, in the Beis HaMikdash. And he said, because of that, there's shalom between the Chachamim, there's shalom between the Tanoim. So of course there'll be shalom in your house if you say that. So again, anyone that doesn't say that, they can make that rectification anytime. And it doesn't matter, you didn't say it all these years. Start saying it now. It doesn't matter. Say it now. Make a commitment, I'll say it, because I want to have a connection to the Beis HaMikdash. I want to have shalom bayis in my house. What a beautiful thing. Isn't that beautiful? It's a beautiful thing. Beautiful thing. And it doesn't take that long. Don't get scared. Yeah, maybe the first time you read it'll take you 5 minutes. Okay. But as you get to know the words and they become your friends, right? Because these words, as you say the words, they become your friends. And it's like you're greeting your friends every day, right? You know, it's nice. You meet an old friend, you greet an old friend, you like to schmooze, right? So become acquainted with the words, make the words your friends, and go visit your friend every day, right? Okay. All right, now. Let's go on with the parsha. Okay, so Moshe Rabbeinu is rebuking us, all right, for failing to fulfill the mitzvahs of Hashem. He's giving them their eternal heritage of going into Eretz Yisrael, telling us that this is our eternal heritage. Not like the UN says, and not like that stupid Michigan in France, may he drop dead. Mamash Rishayim Gemurim. Mamash, Hashem should rid us from all of our enemies. All of our enemies. And that buffoon in England that says, well, you know, since Macron said, well, in September, I'm going to say that the Palestinians should have a state. He could drop dead too. Mamish. Who gives these people the right to say, Moshe Rabbeinu said, Hashem said this is our land, and they talk about it as if they have anything to do with our land. Anything. Nothing. I'm sorry, I get a little bit annoyed by it, but because again, we learn the Torah, and if you believe in the Torah, what they're doing is atrocious, is an atrocity, honestly. But anyway, Moshe calls for the appointment of judges, right? We should have judges. He did that with Yisro, the advice of Yisro. Remember, Yisro told him, "Hey, what are you doing? You can't be judging so long. People have to wait online. Make judges." He spoke about that. Moshe Rabbeinu speaks about the spies, right? Parshat Shlach. The spies came back. The spies came back, and we were crying. And Hashem said to us, if we had a bechia bechinam, this word chinam comes up a lot. We had a bechia bechinam, right? We were crying for nothing, for naught. We were crying for naught. Hashem says, well, this time that you were crying, I'll have to give you something to cry about. Unbelievable. Unbelievable, really. We've been crying a long time. And HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Moshe reminds us that Hashem decreed that everybody, that after that, when that happened, right? It was 40 years ago now. Okay? Within the 40 years, everyone is going to pass away. Moshe Rabbeinu reminds us. Hashem said you went for 40 days, you're going to be in the desert for 40 years, and nobody is going to leave and go into Eretz Yisrael except for two. Kalei ben Yeshua and Yeshua ben Nun. And he names them. And they're named in the Parsha. Kalei ben Yefuna and Yeshua ben Nun were the two spies that came back with the positive report. Then we go on, Moshe Rabbeinu goes on in the Parsha, and he reminds us about the wars that we had. That there was a refusal. We sent an emissary to Moab, and we said to Moab, we want to pass through your land. We're not going to take anything from you. We're not going to drink your water. We're not going to eat your fruit. We're not going to take anything. We just want to pass through your land. They said no. Then HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Moshe Rabbeinu reminds us of our time with Ammon. Same thing. And then he talks about the big war that he had with Sichon and Og. The Sichon and Og, the great two great warriors, right? Og was Melech Habash, and he was the giant, right? We make reference to that on Shabbos morning when we say the Hodu, right? We make reference to that. We make reference to the two kings, Sichon and Og, and that Ruvain and Shevet Gad and half of Shevet Menashe was settled in their lands, in the lands of Sichon and Og. That Moshe Rabbeinu made and sanctified those lands. It was done by Moshe Rabbeinu. And there were those that say that that's what prompted Moshe Rabbeinu to then pray to Hashem, that he should be able to go into Eretz Yisrael. Why? Hey, Hashem, I just sanctified this land as the land of Israel. That means, Hashem, I'm in Israel. So if I'm in Israel, let me cross the water and let me be in Israel proper. That's what prompted him. That's what prompted Moshe Rabbeinu. Okay? And then the most important part of the parsha was, in my personal opinion, that he talks about Yeshua. And he gives Yeshua the pep talk that he needs in order to be successful. He gives Yeshua that pep talk that he needs in order to be successful. And he tells Yeshua, at the same way we got rid of Sichon and Og, these monsters, giant monsters, millions of soldiers, millions of armies, big places, big. And they wiped them out. Hashem says to Moshe Rabbeinu, says to Yeshua, Hashem is going to do that for you as well. Don't worry. Hashem is going to take care of it the same way He took care of it with us. For now, with Sichon and Og, you're going to go through all of the different nations in Israel itself. And you're going to knock them all down. Don't worry about it. So that's the parsha outside, okay? Does anyone have any questions or any comments that they'd like to say so far? I made a lot of statements. We said a lot of things. Does anyone have any questions or comments? No questions and comments. Okay. We have a quiet audience today. That's good. Okay. So I have a piece here. Let's learn something inside from Rav Nosson. Yeah. The pasuk at the end of the parsha, Ves Yoshua tzivesi bo'es hahi leimar. Yoshua he's being commanded at this time, Einecha aroyes es kol asher osa Hashem lekeichem l'shnei malachim. Yeshua, you saw with your eyes. You saw with your eyes what Hashem did to these great kings. L'shnei malachim ha'ela kein yaseh Hashem l'chol ha'mamlochas. So too will Hashem take care of all of the kings. Hashem and you're going to pass through. And you're going to come into the land. And you're going to be opposed by these kings. Don't worry about it. Don't be scared. Hashem is going to be there and He will fight your battle. Wow. Amazing words, encouragement, right? Amazing words, encouragement. The same way I told you when it comes to Tisha B'Av, Hashem went to bat for us again. He went to bat for us again. And He said, I'll destroy my Beis HaMikdash, but I'm going to protect my people. That's a true father. That's HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Avinu Malkeinu. He's our father. Now look what Reb Nosson says. V'zeh merames al ikar ha-milchama ha-gedoyle v'akfeida shi ikar milchames kol adam shi milchemes ha-yetzer. We all have a battle in our lives. Hashem gave us this thing, the Yetzer Hara, right? We all have that Yetzer Hara. And the Yetzer Hara likes to chepper us, he likes to bother us, he likes to do what he can do to us, right? Remember, don't be scared of him, because Hashem is with us. Hashem is with you. He's with every single one of us. Because Hashem fills the land, the world, with His glory. As we say in the Kedusha, right? Kadosh, 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 Shem Tzavakos, Meloi Chol Haaretz Kevoda. Remember those words, right? We all say those words, right? Right? Kadosh, 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 Hashem Tzavakos, Meloi Chol Haaretz Kevoda. Anywhere you have ever been in the world, anywhere you will be in the world, Hashem is there with you. Don't be afraid. He's there with you. Because the world is Hashem. Hashem is everything in this world. You can't go anywhere without Hashem. You can't. There's nowhere in this world exists without Hashem. It doesn't exist. There's a story that I saw, an amazing story, that there was a yid that was, he was a young man, and he was a tailor. Listen to this story. It's an amazing story. He was a tailor. And the Nazis, Yimach Shemam v'Zichram, they came into this little town. And they decided in this town, we're not going to bother shipping the Jews to one of the concentration camps. It's too difficult to get them to the railroad station. We'll just shoot the Jews here. So as they did, they made the Jews dig a mass grave, and they shot them one by one, and they fell into the grave. And then the last few of them, they said, okay, close up the grave. And then they shot them. What happened was, this young man was online, and they were shooting each Jew. And then it came his turn. He said, of course, Shema. He said Vidui. He was prepared to die al Kiddush Hashem. What happened? They didn't shoot him. He said to the Nazi, he says, what happened? How come you didn't shoot me? He said, we ran out of bullets. We ran out of bullets. He said it's going to take about 2-3 hours till they'll send us bullets from the next town, and then we can continue what we have to do. But the Nazi was talking to this young man. He said to him, what do you do? What do you do for a living? He says, I'm a tailor. You're a tailor? Okay. He says, I need a new suit. I need a new suit. I'll tell you what. While we're waiting for the bullets, go back to your house. Go get your tailor bag, whatever you have. Come back, measure me out, and make me a suit. If the suit fits when I put it on, I'll let you can escape. You have my word, you can escape. So he went home to his house, and of course he got his bag. He was saying Tehillim the whole way. And he was begging Hashem that please let me do this right, that the guy will be happy with the suit so I can be saved. And he's sewing, he's doing his thing as fast as he can, and he's praying the whole time. He finished the jacket, and he handed it to the Nazi. The Nazi took off his coat, his Nazi coat. He took it there, and he put on his jacket. He buttoned it up. Oh, perfect. He loved it. This is the nicest fit jacket I ever had. He said, "Kid, get out of here." He let the kid run away. He let him run away. Amazing. You see how every little nuance. This young man, he came to America. He stayed as a tailor. He said, "I won't do anything else because a tailor saved my life. Being a tailor saved my life. I'm not going to do anything else." And all his life, he was a tailor. He was a tailor because he said that being a tailor saved my life. Right? That this guy needed a suit. This Nazi needed a suit. And he was able to be the tailor. That he was the... You see how HaKadosh Baruch Hu takes care of everything. What are we scared of? Rabbi Nachman said, Hashem is Baruch imecha ve'etzlecha. Hashem is with you, He's mamish with you. Al tira, don't be afraid. That the Rebbe says that you have to pass through this world like the narrow bridge. A narrow bridge. Crossing this world is like a narrow bridge. But look what the next words that he says. When they sing the song, Lo yifached klal. But that's not the way the Rebbe wrote it. He wrote, V'lo yisfached klal. Don't make yourself scared. Don't make yourself scared. Not don't be afraid. Don't make yourself scared. Remember, Hashem is with you. What am I being scared of? Why do I have to make myself scared? Hashem will take care of our battles if we only turn to Hashem. That's the main point. Turn to Hashem. Someone was telling me the other day, they were saying like this, when it says in Shulchan Aruch, Meshenichnas Av, Mematin b'simcha, right? Lower the simcha. They had it misunderstood. They said, Meshenichnas Av, Tzarich liyos ba'atzvus. I said, no. Shulchan Aruch doesn't say that you have to be depressed when it comes to the month of Av. No, it's not true. The Shulchan Aruch says that you should lower the simcha. Take it down one notch. Take it down a notch. But you always have to be b'simcha. Even on Tisha B'Av, you can be b'simcha. That you're one of the close ones to Hashem. And I can mourn with Hashem. Right? I'm one with Hashem. I have Hashem gives me the permission to mourn with Him. Wow, that's a privilege. It's a privilege. I have to be happy that I have that privilege. Again, I'm not singing and dancing, but I have to have an inner simcha. Every day in your life, you have to have simcha, joy in your heart. Be always full of joy. Now look at this. This warning Moshe Rabbeinu gave to Yoshua. He's the leader now. K'maisha Kosav yes Yeshua Tzivesi. Ki Yeshua bechinas a Talmud. Shahasagosai bechinas meloi chalaretz k'vayda. He's the Talmud. Yeshua is the student of Moshe Rabbeinu. He's his faithful student. He never left He never left Moshe. He never left Moshe. Even when Moshe went up to the mountain, when it came to the Cheder Egel, Yeshua stayed where Moshe Rabbeinu left him on the mountain. He stayed there. He didn't leave. He never left Moshe Rabbeinu's side. He always stayed with him. No, he couldn't go up to heaven, so he stayed by the mountain where Moshe Rabbeinu left him. And he waited there till Moshe Rabbeinu came back. That's Yeshua, the true student. It says when Mashiach is going to come, all of those that are Sheikh Ne'afar, those that are the dust dwellers, right? Those that are dwelling in the dust. What does that mean, they're dwelling in the dust? They're dead. Those people, all of those bodies, Hikitzu Viranu Sheikh Ne'afar, they'll all be enlivened. And they'll be full of life. And they'll get up from their graves. Could you imagine that day? Chevy, this is what's going to happen. We're going to see this. We're going to see this in Eretz Hashem. This is the Ikvus of the Mashiach. We're here now. Any moment now, Mashiach is going to come. We're going to see these miracles like we never saw. Hashem, like I told you, Hashem is showing us his miracles already. This thing that we went against Iran, the big monster. And what did the big monster, what were they? What were they really? They're a bunch of guys in robes. What are they already? This is what we have to realize. We should never give up. We shouldn't be knocked down from anything. The chol ma'aseh yaver aleim, anything that happens to them, to you, yil chazokim. You should be very, very strong. Because we have the Torah of Moshe Rabbeinu. And we could grab on to the Torah of Moshe Rabbeinu. And we have the might of Moshe Rabbeinu anytime. Ki Hashem itam adayin v'lo yisyaru es Hashem itam. Ki meloi chol haaretz k'vayda. Nothing's going to happen because Hashem is with us if we believe that with all of our heart. Like that young man, the tailor, believed that Hashem is with him. Ki atzadik b'chinas Moshe Yochel lahashpil es hamalochim hamekatrigim shemeyam nimshuchu nishtalshul klipa sichon voy. With the power of Moshe Rabbeinu, we can even get rid of the greatest evil forces, Sichon and Og. Ki mare lahem she'enam yoidim adayim b'diyosei yizbarach klal. Because anyone that's great, and that's on a high level, and they think they're very close with Hashem. The tzaddik tells them, you think you're close to Hashem? The tzaddik will dazzle them, and they'll see they don't really know much. But when it comes on the other spectrum, and the tzaddik comes to the person that's in the low place, those are the ones that are down here in the grime, in the grit, in the grime. Don't be scared. So if a person fell to whatever he fell to, it doesn't matter where he wound up. Remember, that place that you're in, the tzaddik tells you, Hashem is there with you. Don't give up. Don't give up. Hashem is there. Turn to Hashem in that place. It doesn't matter. This is what Moshe Rabbeinu is giving the warning, and he's giving the chizik to Yoshua. You saw with your own eyes, Moshe Rabbeinu is telling Yoshua. You saw this. You saw that. And so too Hashem will do that to all the kingdoms. And Hashem is going to do that for us now too. With all these wicked kingdoms that are against us. Hashem is going to wipe them all out. They're all going to be wiped out. We just have to believe in Hashem. Believe in the Rebbeinu Shalom. All the wicked ones will be wiped out. It's nothing for Hashem. In a split second, they can all be gone. In a split second. Faster than you can blink your eye. Ki meyacha shekvar harag shnei malachim eila bazer royin ki yesh koyach levatel kitrug malachim meyacha shaharag shnei malachim yasilchem v'oy shenimtzuchu mishet mehem. All of the wicked ones in the world today, they're all connected to the Sichin and Eig. They're all Sichin and Eig fans. Right? But Hashem knocked them down, he'll knock these guys down too. And therefore you better believe and trust and know. Wherever you go, Moshe Rabbeinu is telling Yoshua, wherever you go, don't worry. Bevadai tirshu eretz Yisrael. You will certainly inherit. You will certainly dwell. It'll certainly be yours, Eretz Yisrael. It doesn't belong to any Palestinian. They're all imposters. They're all monsters. They're all imposters. They don't belong over here. We should have thrown them out when we had the opportunity to throw them out. But the government wasn't courageous enough to throw them out there. Now we have to deal with what we have to deal with. Because again, when you don't believe in Hashem, you don't believe in these words. If you don't believe in the words, then you're in trouble. But we have to believe in the words. We have to believe in them. And it's upon us to daven for all the other Yidden. I ask you, any one of us that knows, anyone that needs help in their spirituality, that they are distant from Hashem, pray for them. Pray for them. Pray to Hashem. Hashem, please shine your light into them, into their souls. Shine your light into their souls. Let them also be illuminated. Let them have the light, your light, Hashem. Please, we can all do that. That is Ahavas Chinam. That is what will get us out of this mess. We got into this mess because of baseless hatred. But if we have baseless love, that's the antidote. We all know people. It could be our own family members that need help. They need help coming back to Hashem. Pray for them. We all can do that. It gives Hashem tremendous nachas when one Jew shows he cares for another Jew. Let's just finish the piece here. Bevadai tirshu Eretz Yisrael shesham ikar is galus sehadas. In Eretz Yisrael, you see the greatest revelation of Hashem, as the Torah says, Tamid einei Hashem elekecha ba mereishis hashana arach v'shana. Hashem pays close, special attention to Eretz Yisrael. Special attention here. Chinas al yoinim lemata v'tachtoinim lemala al keim bevadai loy tirom. Because in Eretz Yisrael specifically, we have this idea, the Darei Mala and the Darei Mata, they come together. The two come together. We feel it here, we feel it the most. But HaKadosh Baruch Hu is with every Jew, no matter where they are. It doesn't matter where you are. And I believe this is the Navi. The Navi says, Chazon Yisher Chazon. See this. It's a Shabbos of vision. See how Hashem is there with us, how Hashem is behind us. Look at that. Hope for Hashem. Hope. Pray. This is what this Shabbos is all about. Pray to Hashem. Bring the Geula. Bring the Geula, Hashem. For your sake. Like we say, Leman Shemecha, for your sake, Hashem, for your sake. I wish everybody, first of all, I want to thank everyone that listened and will listen to the class, all the listeners, and I wish everyone we should have a beautiful Lechtige Shabbos. It should be a very lit up Shabbos. A lit up Shabbos. Because there's a lot of light in the Shabbos. Every Shabbos is a Me'ein Olam Haba. Every Shabbos is a piece of Olam Haba. Right? In this Shabbos, there's a lot of light in this Shabbos also. Yes, the world will say, oh, it's a Shabbos Chazor, you have to be very somber. No. Shabbos, there's no Avelis at all. No Avelis on Shabbos. You sing Gizmiris and you eat what you'd like to eat and you drink as much wine as you want on Shabbos. There's no problem. There's no Avelis on Shabbos. Okay, after Shabbos, right, when they tell you there's man, okay, that's Tisha B'Av. But till then, Simcha. Till then, Simcha, Shabbos, Zmiris. When it comes to Shalta, you sing Zmiris. Shabbos. Okay, I wish everyone a beautiful Shabbos. In the Mitzvah Hashem, we should all be zeichet to see the coming of Mashiach, the building of the Beis HaMikdash, Bayis Shlishi, on Har HaBayis, Mamash B'Kara V'Yameinu. We should all be able to be zeichet to go arm in arm together and to Yerushalayim, to the Ir Atika, the old city, and to come to see the new Beis HaMikdash together. Thank you, everybody.
Hello.